Good morning, readers. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Today, we are going to continue with part 2 of our reading from our book, Henry's Freedom Box. Now, remember when we left off that Henry had been sold to his master's son, and so he's separated from his family, which makes him very, very sad. But remember, he has met a friend named Nancy. And we are wondering now, readers, if their friendship is going to develop into perhaps a love and possible marriage. As we continue on, we will find out what happens. Months later, Henry asked Nancy to be his wife. When both their masters agreed, Henry and Nancy were married. Soon, there was a little baby, then another and another. Henry knew they were very lucky. They lived together even though they had different masters. But Nancy was worried. Her master had lost a great deal of money. "I'm afraid he will sell our children," she said. And Henry sat very still. Readers, this reminds me of when Henry was a little boy. And recall, readers, that his mother was concerned about how the children and families were separated because masters could just sell any member of the family and it would be perfectly okay. And so it's like a cyclical cycle here where we see the same event coming up again. Henry worked hard all morning. He tried to forget what Nancy said. And readers, I am thinking that the reason he's having such a hard time forgetting what Nancy said is because this very fear that his own mother had had came true. He was sold away from his family, and I know that he does not want his children to be sold from their family at all. He does not want their family separated. His friend James came into the factory. He whispered to Henry, "Your wife and your children were just sold at the slave market." Readers, can you imagine the horror, the pain, the fear that Henry must have felt at that moment? "No!" cried Henry. Henry couldn't move. He couldn't think. He couldn't work. I think Henry was in shock with that horrible news. "Twist that tobacco," the boss poked at Henry. Henry twisted tobacco leaves. His heart twisted in his chest. Henry could not get up and run to the slave market because he was at work. And if he had gotten up and left his work, his master would have punished him severely or even killed him. And I like the way that our author has taken this analogy of twist that tobacco, twist those leaves, and said that now Henry's heart is twisting. That's indicating that he's in great, great pain because his family has just been sold. He does not know if he's ever going to see them again. And here's a picture of his friend leaning over and whispering and telling him. Oh, readers, as a parent, you can't even imagine. At lunchtime, Henry rushed to the center of town. A large group of slaves was tied together. The owner shouted at them. Henry looked for his family. "Father! Father!" Henry watched his children disappear down the road. Where was Nancy? He saw her the same moment that she saw him. When he wiped away his tears, Nancy too was gone. Oh, readers, heartbreaking time. Here's Henry looking down the road, and here you can see his children tied up and bound together, being taken to another place. He doesn't have any idea where it is. Henry no longer sang. He couldn't hum. Readers, that symbolizes sadness. We only sing and hum when we're feeling happy. And so he could no longer sing or hum because he was devastated. Now, I will say, though, that readers, when I'm feeling particularly sad, what I like to do is to sing Christian music because that does help comfort me a great deal. He went to work, and at night he ate supper and he went to bed. Henry tried to think of happy times, but all he could see were the carts carrying away everyone he loved. Henry knew he would never see his family again. And here he is. See how he's just buried his face in his hands? Readers, he's feeling despondent, just completely out of luck, devastated, like he just doesn't know what to do. But you know, readers, what Henry can do is turn to God in this situation, and I certainly would if I were him. And I would be praying, oh God, please help me find my family. Please help us be reunited. And I hope that's what he will do. And tomorrow, as we continue in our story, we'll find out what happens. Thank you, readers.